N1HEX and Reject.
Boy, here we go. David versus Goliath. That's been the narrative coming into this series, right? N1HEX, definitely the underdogs here going into the ban draft. Whereas Reject, they have come off an insane high of winning the entirety of Asia preseason. So now the question becomes, do we see playoffs Reject or do we see group stage Reject? Because I really hope we see playoffs Reject here, or else I might crash out here on live.
Yeah, that is kind of the big question they're going to have to answer right out of the gate. We'll get a very early look at it. I imagine first fight will have settled, what Reject we are seeing here. Of course, interested to see how they adapt to this new meta and these new heroes. Of course, they are going to make a Black Cat save for themselves here. It's going to be one-sided in response to N1HEX's one-sided Devil Dinosaur. So they are going to bring the prehistoric pain here. Going to be some strategists hovered on this simultaneous mid-round ban here. N1HEX seem pretty comfortable with the Luna Snow ban, and Reject will take out the Mantis. So, we're kind of getting a feel for what these Asia teams are going for in the draft. And in fact, Reject's going to take that Mantis one-sided too. Very, very solid pick here.
So at the very least, this has been similar to what other regions have been doing, at least in the middle of the ban draft, right? Some teams do like the one-sided dinos. Some teams do like to take away the Mantis or the Luna Snow in that second or third ban slot, and both teams are looking to do just that. Reject do come out on top with the Mantis one-sided, so a decent amount of damage buff opportunities. N1HEX realizes they don't want to give away another source of damage amplification in the likes of Ultron, so N1HEX are forced to kind of ban it away, but at the very least, N1HEX do get access to the Luna Snow one-sided as well. And Reject also taking away the Phoenix from N1HEX means that Reject, if they so choose to, they can run that Rocket Raccoon.
I was gonna say, surely we can't let both Ultron and Mantis go through when Black Cat saved on the table. That could be some pretty nasty calling cards from Reject, but no, the Ultron ban comes through here at the end for N1HEX. They do walk away with the Luna and the Devil Dino one-sided. I like that. Obviously going to be huddling underneath those Fate of Both Worlds when that Black Cat is up and ready to move. But as we've seen, there can be some surprise breakthroughs even under that dance floor. So gonna have to wait and see if that will be the key here for N1HEX to survive some of that onslaught from the Black Cat, as Reject are gonna bring it one-sided here. Almost ready to get this thing underway here. David versus Goliath indeed. N1HEX, a newly refreshed N1HEX, coming to the table up against Reject, and that is the question I have going into this matchup. Is it preseason playoffs Reject, or are we going all the way back to the group stage? It is up to them as we are ready to go here on Hell's Heaven.
Yeah, I mean, Reject already are posted up for a very strong front-to-back composition. Seunghoon even quickly switching over to the Jeff to provide the speed bubbles to Reject so that they can get just a little bit of that extra map space compared to N1HEX. So a great little micro play coming in from Seunghoon. But Reject, they do also have access to that Vitality, so that front-to-back composition will be very, very strong, as Yaki's going to be running the Adam Warlock as that third strategist on the likes of Reject, so the win condition is clear for Reject. Make sure that Yaki is able to get that Karma Revival down. Oh wow, great block coming in from Blaziken. I had to mention that there, as a Yaki puts down the Soul Bond, but Brownie is able to draw first blood. The N1HEX frontline is completely out of commission.
Yeah, door wide open here for Reject to make their move, and that they will. Brownie gonna find another one. Brownie and Gargoyle, they're taking over the KO feed. N1HEX will find one on the Winter Soldier, but it is the Reject show here. They will take the first cap, and almost all of N1HEX shut down, and now forward pressure applied here. They are knocking on N1HEX's front door.
Bro's looking like my shotgun build in Bloodhunt right now. Brownie just shotguns the entire strategist backline, as N1HEX are going to have to regroup very, very quickly. The only option that they have at the current moment would be Louis on the Rage of Ultron to create that space to allow N1HEX a path to go right on in, but with Reject doing a little bit of that 3-2-1 Soul Bond, Final Judgment, let's just go right in. Brownie does just that, gets a quick double, N1HEX have to reset again.
Yeah, not even going to give them a chance to charge up the rage there. Someone from N1HEX on the point, though. They will sneak the capture here. They stop Reject at 42%. It is Spooky on the Devil Dino here, but he is going to be dispatched there. Yaki sending him back to the prehistoric era here. Lastro and Piggy get in the mix, as well as Reject again. Flood the KO feed, 50% of the way captured.
This is going to be so hard for N1HEX. If they ult dump right here, Reject have Karma Revival. It does not matter. It's just going to be a matter of how much resources do N1HEX want to invest in this upcoming fight, because they're coming up close to a lot of those ultimates. NRX could come up huge with the Kraken Impact, but it's going to be so hard to, at the very least, get any sort of value. Lasher's going to kick things off. He copies Brownie, I think. Yeah, with the Final Judgment. And Seung-hoon is there with the Soul Resurgence. This is a crazy move from Reject. Lastro copies a Duelist ultimate because he knows that Seung-hoon is there to help capitalize, but that's both strategist ultimates used, but it doesn't matter because Reject still have Karmic Revival.
Might be the first time I have ever seen God of Mischief copy the Final Judgment here. So Reject, new page in the playbook here, and they're not done yet. Gonna try to finish off his chokehold here on point number 1. Louis does get the Rage of Ultron going, and XLL's also got the Fate of Both Worlds, so they've got back-to-back strategist ults. They're able to at least get back on the point and get some overtime, but it's a Psionic Seduction from Gargoyle that they're fighting underneath. And there's the Karmic Revival from Yaki. Perfect timing to get Brownie back up, and he's got something for him. A Final Judgment here, trying to close the door on him. We'll find Spooky before Winsgard can get that invisible boundary up. Blaziken as well has that freedom charge for the rest of the team. Got some nice overheal there, but not enough to get control of this point. All boots from Reject planted on the point here in overtime, starting to tick down now as Reject. All they gotta do is repel him one more time here. Big shotgun blast onto Blaziken from Brownie. It's a double KO for the Punisher, and it is a 1-2-3 here on checkpoint number 1 for Reject.
That was kind of hilarious from Reject. I saw the vision. I saw the vision. Lastro copies Brownie. I'm not sure if that was intentional. If it was intentional, that was kind of a baller move. Very ballsy as well, right? Lastro getting the Final Judgment because he knows Seung-hoon has the Soul Resurgence, so that extra movement speed allows Lastro to cover so much of that map space, and N1HEX kind of were just like, wait, didn't Brownie just use... Oh, wait, that's why Lastro copied the Punisher, not a strategist. So, a little bit of a surprise for N1HEX. I'm surprised as well. You and me, Diatonic. Like, what? That was a little bit of a crazy move. Reject go for the bold move. They were able to capitalize, and now coming into the second round, are Reject able to keep this momentum up? Lastro does have God of Mischief again. At this point, I have no idea what he's gonna copy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it took me a second.
No,
oh he copied the Jeff all off of Piggy.
Wait,
what?
N1HEX don't have the sound cue. Wait, they did. Wait, what? Okay. All right. Hello, Lastro.
Maybe you were expecting N1HEX to be up in the mix there a little sooner than that. I kind of see what they were going for.
What is happening? All right, God of Mischief is gone. Reject, I guess, are just playing on hard mode. Maybe some pity points. Now both teams don't have a strategist ultimate going into this first fight. Maybe Seung-hoon is there to try to stall enough time so that he's able to get his Soul Resurgence up to guarantee a first fight win. But great tracking coming in from Gargoyle to take away Louis. So that's Rage of Ultron out of commission for the first fight. So Reject will be able to convincingly take over here.
Yeah, and Gargoyle, you know, we saw some stats from him before this matchup. Triple KO there on the Emma Frost, living up to the legend here. Absolutely brutal stuff from Gargoyle. Yeah, that was laser focused there. And Piggy will find one onto Blaziken as well. Pop up out of the water on that Jeff and go right back in for a nice little swim here. They are looking for that spot.
Hold on. Reject are running for strategists.
That they are.
This might be a little bit mean. Might be a little memey as well. Piggy does have its Jeff. Seung-hoon with the Soul Resurgence means that Reject could just literally run right in your face. Exile does get the copy with the Fate of Both Worlds, but here comes Brownie. Exile needs to get that copy down quickly, but Brownie and Yaki are still able to capitalize.
Yeah, it's dueling ult dumps here from both sides. Piggy will pick up a double KO off of the It's Jeff here. Most of N1HEX offline as Spooky gonna go back to spawn holding that Sonic Seduction there. Big win in this fight for Reject as well. 60% and still on the charge. And Brownie on the shotgun right around the corner. No chance for Loki to take another step. Though NRX gonna battle back and take down Brownie. But Reject just blazing a path of destruction through Hell's Heaven.
It's going to be up to D-Spooky with the Silent Seduction. If N1HEX even have a chance of getting a retake going, Gargoyle was able to suppress the rest of N1HEX with that Silent Seduction. But at the very least, Louis is able to find Gargoyle, puts a bunch of lead in his face. Gargoyle will be brought back thanks to Yaki. So will Lastro, as the rest of Reject just run right on in, force themselves to get KO'd, and then be brought back with Yaki on the Karmic Revival, but that gives N1HEX some space. Gargoyle is in an off angle, NRX just gets caught off guard. Louis shotguns Gargoyle again. Might have been a rifle, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Winter Soldier play from NRX. They see the Adam Warlock, they see the Loki. Plenty of fodder for those resets. But Brownie just on the move here, under the Loki lamps, and he's going to take the quad and run with it here, making a Penta KO there for the Frank Castle on the side of Reject there. Brownie absolutely vicious here. Overtime gonna tick down as N1HEX maybe got enough for one more fight in him here. You see the portal coming from Louis. Yeah, okay, we're getting it again here. The Final Judgment Part 2 here from Lastro this time. We'll find Louis. Blaziken's got a Freedom Charge ready to go, so the team gonna have some overhealing here. N1HEX can play through this one, but it is truly a matter of time here as Reject sitting on 2-3 seconds of overtime.
Yeah, this looks a little bit tough for N1HEX. A little bit might be an understatement. N1HEX is trying to clutch here with the Kraken Impact. There's a bit of both worlds on the line, though, for N1HEX, so there is a chance that this fight is winnable for N1HEX.
Yeah, but the It's Jeff from Piggy grabs two more. Another double KO there on the Jeff ult. N1HEX does take control, though, 25% and on the move, but they've got a lot of ultimates in the back pocket for Reject and just not a lot of time left.
Yeah, overtime gets flipped over. The zone is already in Reject's favor. Overtime is just going to go down to 0. No more portal. Oh my god, what a shot from Louis. Okay, Brownie. All right. You can stop looking like my Punisher shotgun build in Blood Hunt now. You can rest now. Reject convincingly take over N1HEX off of just a little bit of meme.
A little bit indeed. Swiss cheese there from Brownie's shotgun. They are on the business end of that one. And not just Brownie on the Punisher, but the Loki copies onto the Punisher ult. What could be possibly worse than one Frank Castle running around unchecked? It's 2. The answer is 2, by the way. But yeah, the numbers do not lie here. Brownie rightfully deserved MVP. 21 finals off of 33 elims. And across the board, N1HEX mostly single digits in the elim column. Insane stuff. They get away with a 1-1-4 comp here. I don't know if I've ever seen 4 strat in an Ignite match.
No, this is the first time I've ever seen. This might be the first time ever a 1-1-4 composition was whipped out on the Ignite stage. But you can see that Reject, once they went into this match, they knew the win condition. It was definitely a more serious engagement in that first fight in the first round, but once Reject got that momentum, they decided to stretch their wings a little bit, right? Do what we call a little bit of trolling, right? Go for a little bit of those funky fresh ultimates. Lastro copying Brownie with the Punisher ultimate, and then Zunghun helps him out. Normally, that is a very punishing play, like no pun intended, because Zunghun and Lastro teaming up to use both ultimates, that's 2 strategist ultimates out of commission. And if N1HEX were able to realize this and were able to shut it down, there is a chance that N1HEX could have easily punished Reject's over-aggression, maybe a little bit of an over-investment.
Yeah, confidence definitely strong for this Reject team. They see this matchup and they see maybe they can do, as you say, a little bit of trolling, or us in the corporate world, maybe a limit test here for this Reject roster, right? Trying out some different things, but yeah, definitely surprises around every turn here as Reject take a very confident map number 1 away from N1HEX. We're gonna go to a very short break before map number 2. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
small fortune. You crossed my path! Gotcha!
Hellfire! Welcome back everybody to the Punishing Experience ×2 featuring Frank Castle and Loki. Of course, it was very interesting to witness 4 strategists on Ignite, maybe an Ignite first, so congratulations to Reject making history. However, unfortunate result for N1HEX, a bit of a slow start, a rough start as they go into Reject, who's going all guns blazing right now into their first match on Hell's Heaven. Now we're going to switch it up, we'll see how it's going to go down. Let's see how the next map rolls, and N1HEX do have the advantage in the fact that they can choose the map. Now, all you have to do is pick Symbiotic Surface, and it's guaranteed win. Pick Symbiotic Surface, guaranteed win against Reject, alright? Lock it in now, N1HEX. Flip the script, start your reverse sweep right now on Symbiotic Surface. But this probably won't happen.
Yeah, I mean, we got Convoy, we got Convergence, so there's a lot of different maps available in the pool. It's just a matter. Oh, okay. All right.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Oh no!
and
Oh no! And we know N1HEX have chosen attack. I fear that we have seen this movie before. I am very, very scared. I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe the TVA comes for our throat this time around. Who knows?
Well, yeah.
Tough one.
I mean, it was always going to be a tough matchup here for N1HEX. This is the defending preseason champions, of course, but, you know, on top of all that, a roster refresh, you know, a lot changing in the back office for N1HEX as well. So, you know, they've got a lot of things stacked on top of them that they're trying to play through here, just trying to find their footing, and Reject is not in the business of giving them that breathing room to do that.
Well, look, you said we've seen this movie before. I just hope it's a feature length and not a short film. That's what I'm saying.
It might be an animated short. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
considering how much of a stomp Reject were able to put in map number 1, I feel like map number 2 could very well be the same thing. Unless N1HEX are able to find a way to put Reject at full power, N1HEX can very well make this very competitive. But right now, it's definitely a very, very steep uphill battle for N1HEX.
Yeah, I mean, tough to bounce back from, not only in just the actual, you know, gameplay part of it, but the mental as well. To start off, it's rough. And again, you know, this N1HEX team, they've gone through a big refresh between preseason and stage 1, so, you know, still trying to find their footing, still trying to figure out how best to work together. So they've got a lot working against them here in this matchup. But taking a look at the picks and bans so far, pretty standard across the board. Both teams gonna bring some Devil Dinosaur to the field here. Mantis banned out by both sides, and N1HEX gonna ban away the Black Cat. So one weapon taken away from Reject, but clearly Reject plenty of tools up their sleeves to keep the ball rolling no matter what N1HEX does here in the draft.
Yeah, Luna Snow showing presence in the band draft, Mantis showing as well, so this has been pretty similar to what other regions have been doing, right? Take away Mantis, take away Luna, maybe find an opportunity to save it, just like how Reject have done here so far. But with Reject knowing that their biggest strength is going to be on that Loki, and with Loki not showing up a whole lot in the band draft unless Gambit is let through one-sided, means that I feel like at least here in stage 1 group stage, Reject definitely will have access to the Loki a lot, and so far that's been their biggest win condition. N1HEX will take away Vibrant Vitality by taking away the Mantis from Reject, but N1HEX will secure the Phoenix. Reject looking to limit the options on some of that peel anti-dive, you could argue, by taking away the White Fox. So N1HEX also not going to have access to any sort of Luna Snow or White Fox, both in fact. So they're going to have to resort to different options in terms of that strategist backline. Maybe it's the Invisible Woman, maybe you go for Cloaky. That's been a pretty strong backline strategist duo in the current meta right now, but who knows? N1HEX are on the attacking side. Reject will be on the defense. So how does Reject structure their composition in order to stave off the aggression from N1HEX? Will N1HEX get spawn held? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, here in the Pacific region, we are very familiar with checkpoint number 1 of Museum of Contemplation. So many runs stopped dead in their tracks before they really even get going here. And yeah, you know, there's some barbs traded back and forth in this draft. N1HEX definitely going to have to reach deep into the strategist pool here to figure out what to bring to their backline, because yeah, a lot of those tools taken offline for them. Reject, of course, no access to the Black Cat here, but you know, the Punisher was their main go-to on Duelist for Hell's Heaven. So what am I witnessing?
Oh, Gargoyle's just twerking on it. Anyway, we got a match to watch here, as this corner here is very, very important for both teams. If you're able to secure this first corner, you have a lot of line of sight to work with. Reject know this. They're going to try to put a lot of emphasis in securing access to that first corner. Blaziken going down means that Reject will have a lot of that momentum, and they're just pushing right on through.
Yeah, I mean, solid start for them on defense here. Like you said, looking to lock down this first turn here. Not trying to stamp out that offensive run pretty early on. So N1HEX gonna have to go back to the drawing board pretty early on here. I do see they've got the Moon Knight and the Phoenix moving, so they've got some damage potential here. But of course, they just gotta find their footing. Spooky gonna take the Dino into the back halls here and try to come up behind him.
Oh, this is great rotation coming up from N1HEX. They mark down all the side angles that Reject are going to try to look for those dive opportunities. Sugun and Yaki are looking to find an opportunity. Will find an assassination onto Winsker, so N1HEX gonna have to quickly reset here. X-While even investing the Loki greens means that N1HEX are running out of resources. They're gonna have to reel back for a little bit. Reject reclaim that space that they lost for just a little bit, because N1HEX, they looked for the heads-up play, they looked for the rotational moves, but the problem is you got Yaki on the Daredevil. So whatever N1HEX do, they know that they are being watched at all times.
Yeah, they've got that side route patrol on lock here. Ult's coming through for Reject to start things off. Strangling Prison and a hand of Conchu. Good enough. The Groot Knight combo coming up big here. Double KO for Brownie to start things off. Even under that invisible boundary from Winsker. Not enough to save Louis either, as Piggy will find that one. 3 members of N1HEX KO'd so far, and 2 minutes already away.
Yeah, N1HEX though, they still have ultimates, so they may find an opportunity in terms of some sort of engagement here. X-Lyle could easily get a little bit aggressive, maybe find an aggressive invisible boundary. We'll see if N1HEX do make that first move, but right now Reject have been the ones initiating all of these fights right now. Loki Green's already invested by X-Lyle, so N1HEX, if they want to look for some sort of opportunity, it's going to get a little bit offensive.
Yeah, it may come here on the back of a hand of Conchu onto Reject, but they play right on through. Fate of Both Worlds coming down from Lastro here. Liel does go for the God of Mischief, copies that invisible boundary, so a ton of sustain for N1HEX, but no progress onto the card here. Lastro and Brownie finding more KOs. Mark that one for Gargoyle as well here. Just a minute left to go, and N1HEX still not finding a way to get up off the mat.
Alright, if you want a summary of how preseason groups went for some of these teams when they tried to pick Museum of Contemplation, this is it. This is all you need.
Yeah.
This is basically the summary of half of preseason group stage over in Asia. N1HEX though, they still now have ultimates coming up. Another set of them. It's going to be Spooky on the Freedom Charge. Blaziken now having the Silent Seduction at the ready, so that's going to provide a lot of space. Reject are going to pull back just a little bit, but with Reject having Groot Knight Wombo combo, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to facilitate.
Yeah, and Piggy just gets the Strangling Prison out right as he gets KO'd. Brownie will come up big here, double KO. Almost everyone from Reject making a play there. Junghoon's got the Gumiho unleashed as well, and N1HEX unfortunately shut back down yet again. 15 seconds, they got one engage left to try and make something happen here.
Piggy's channeling a portal. I think Piggy's channeling a portal. Either to rejoin the site or maybe go the funny route. No, he's just going to cut off the corner, so that's a lot of that line of sight potential missed out on N1HEX, but at the very least, the Freedom Charge gives N1HEX a lot of space to work with, and if things do get hairy, Whimsicr's there with the invisible boundary. So 2 quick eliminations mean that Reject are going to be in the back foot for a little bit. Lots of that damage potential is out of commission. It's going to be up to Yaki to try to pick up the pieces. Whimsicer now commits the invisible boundary. NRX will find Gargoyle, and N1HEX are putting up a fight now.
Yeah, definitely signs of life coming through for them here in overtime. Just a second or two of that time taken away now. Reject gonna have to get back to the point here, but they don't have a strange portal on deck, so this may be a checkpoint for Reject here. A little bit of a, or excuse me, for N1HEX, a little bit of a mad dash at the end, and Spooky will find one onto Lastro as well. The captain not ready to give this up quite yet here. Brownie will find one as well in response, and a calling card now coming out from Louis on the side of N1HEX, so they're pulling through here at the last second. They'll find Brownie, Piggy, and Gargoyle in some trouble here as well. Still got a few seconds of that overtime left, so not out of the running just yet, but Gargoyle gonna try to even the odds here for Reject. It's a triple KO off the back of that calling card from Louis, and not quite done yet. We'll go after Lastro, can't quite get it though. Fate of both worlds in perfect timing here from Lastro to stay alive here. Now the rest of the team gonna benefit from that in this last fight. Still no checkpoint 1 confirmed yet for N1HEX.
It's looking likely. That was a great timing with the invisible boundary. Everyone on Reject are just making sure that the site is being stalled out. Yaki's able to find Whimsicer. Maybe this is a little bit winnable. Reject are still holding on. Piggy's able to get in there with the feast. The anti-heal is good, and the Silent Seduction will cut short. Everyone is clutching. Reject somehow get the full hold down.
Even when it seems like N1HEX gonna be able to get back on their feet, Reject just knock them right back down. Another big clothesline down onto the mat, and N1HEX cannot close out checkpoint number 1. So the gauntlet is thrown, but Dan, it is not a lot of distance here for Reject.
I'm just in shock that N1HEX weren't able to secure that checkpoint. I mean, that was a great look from Yaki there on that Daredevil getting to the backline, taking out Whimsicer. That's a lot of that healing potential on N1HEX out of commission. And then the front line of Reject, both Piggy and Gargoyle coming up absolutely huge. The Feast coming in just in time. Lastro was able to just barely hang on so that he's able to use the Fate of Both Worlds to keep himself alive and keep the point from getting to that first checkpoint. So now N1HEX, they almost had a bit of a buffer to work with, but at the very least, it's close to that first checkpoint. So it's not going to be a very, very cutthroat level of hold potential that N1HEX have to go for. At the very least, they have just a little bit more room.
Yeah, it's definitely greater than one fight territory for sure. Reject will have to win a couple here in order to close out this map and this series. So N1HEX have a little bit of ground to stand on here, but it is not much. They can definitely peer down over the edge of the cliff into the water below because they are just a couple of losses away from taking the loss here on Museum of Contemplation.
Reject are looking to get aggressive here. Yaki's on the strategist Deadpool, Piggy's on the Jeff. That's 2 strategists on Reject right now. And both of these strategists aren't known for doing a lot of that healing output, but Yaki is going in with the band hammer. No, it's going to be the Ponish Pound. Sorry, this is Strategist Deadpool, not Vanguard Deadpool that we see all the time. Gargoyle is able to find one. Brownie's going to get traded out. So N1HEX are looking to hold on for just a little bit here because Reject really relied on Yaki coming up huge with that Ponish Pound. Allow Reject to rush right on in. But N1HEX are able to get some crucial trades to stay alive.
Yeah, I mean, big pick from NRX onto Gargoyle on the Phoenix here. So they're able to slow down Reject over halfway to the closure here of Museum of Contemplation. But Batsmobile stalled out just a little bit here as N1HEX aren't ready to throw in the towel. Spooky a little bit low there on Devil Dino, able to get some heals. But Reject, of course, pushing on the move. It is non-stop, and the bell tolls here for N1HEX. It is one fight for Reject. They just got to win this to walk away with it here. And Yaki gonna throw down some more Deadpool ult here. Piggy's got the itch Jeff ready to go here. If he picks up a couple members, it could be all over here. NRX goes overhead for the Insong Inferno, but on the ground, Spooky taken down. It's gonna be a 1-4-1 here, and now a Rage of Ultron from Louis. Watch out above as Lasher goes low, but able to get some heals at the last second. Brownie taken down. That Ultron, though, the Rage short-lived here. Brownie strangling Prison to stop N1HEX in their tracks here. They just got to get control of the mission vehicle one more time here because they are inches away from closing this one out. It is going to be an invisible boundary from Winsker here, and Seunghoon goes for that Insong Inferno. Will pick up one as N1HEX not quite done just yet. Exlil will able to copy the Invisible Woman ultimate here, so boundary on board for them, and Spooky rampaging through Reject. Quadra KO there onto the Devil Dinosaur as Reject gonna have to dust themselves off and get ready for one more fight.
Okay, Reject. You're gonna have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Now Reject are getting a little serious. Their power level has went up to about 95% now. Yaki switching over to the Daredevil. Seunghoon had his moment on the Duelist, and now is gonna go back to his main role, the strategist role of Luna Snow. Yaki gonna team up with Seunghoon as well, so that Luna Fox team up will be available to them. Lastro does have the Psionic Seduction, so he's able to provide some entryway into the mission area, but is it going to be enough here?
Well, Reject have been in this position before. Map number 2, Museum of Contemplation, a match they should have won against Triple AD, but they C9'd it here, and now with under 60 seconds left to go, Reject need to lock in here. No more memes, no more goofing around. It's going to be a dance of the butterflies from Gargoyle now. We'll find Spooky here, but N1HEX get theirs as well. It's a 1-for-1, and now Gargoyle going to convert even more. Double KO on the Psylocke. Piggy will find one, and Winsker's got a Strange Portal ready to go here. 3 meters left, and 38 seconds for Reject to close this thing out here. Insong Inferno from NRX, but Reject will survive that one. The flames not hot enough to melt them down here. There's the Devil Beast Rampage from Piggy as well. They are looking to try and close this thing out. Not a lot of members from Reject on that Batsmobile, though. Got to be careful here. You don't want to see them repeat history. Gargoyle will find one onto Louis here, and now Reject trying to finish things off. Insong Inferno for Brownie is massive here. Piggy will get one as well, making a triple KO for Brownie, and history, no, will not repeat itself. Reject will take this one 2 maps to 0.
Yeah, at least Reject had a little fun with it along the way. It made us a little bit more fun to watch. N1HEX, though, I mean, great looks in that second map. They made it competitive on that push. Almost got to that first checkpoint, but it was kind of cooked when Reject were like, yeah, we're done playing around. We're just gonna go back to what we originally wanted to do, is run you right on over. And Reject will do just that. They we talked about it, right? We were either gonna see playoff Reject or we're gonna see group stage Reject, and somehow we got both.
I was gonna say, that Museum of Contemplation a little closer than it probably should have been for Reject, considering they stopped them short of checkpoint 1 right out of the gate. Very aggressive, big offensive plays. They were able to just push the cart almost uncontested, but there at the end, I thought for a second maybe we were gonna see the run back there of that Triple AD match they had in the preseason group stage, but no such luck for N1HEX here. Reject close it out 2-0, but you know, I will give N1HEX credit. Definitely some signs of life on Museum of Contemplation. They at least redeem that Hell's Heaven run that they started off with.
I mean, was it really a redemption, or was it Reject just having a little bit of fun? Because you can clearly see Reject definitely stretch their wings. I said this in map 1, but like it's consistent here in map 2. They tried something funky. They put Seunghoon on Phoenix. They tried to switch around the roles a little bit, but it got to a point, really, it got a little scary for Reject, I'm not gonna lie, right? You were losing out on a lot of time. You had to make sure that the point gets to finish line, and N1HEX, they almost were able to punish Reject's tomfoolery, but I mean, still though, you gotta give it up for N1HEX, at least trying till the very end, because if you remember in preseason, N1HEX got a little bit of drama. We're not gonna talk about that. That's a whole different topic. But either way, N1HEX at the very least did their best to fight till the very end, as I'm sure Liger had an enjoyable time. Maybe an enjoyable time, but I don't know, because we didn't get to see more of that museum, so I don't know what that looks like.
No, I'm happy to leave museum behind. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Leave it behind. I'm happy. Yes, speedrun the map. It is unfortunate though, because I would have loved to see some signs of life from N1HEX. They did have their moments, but at the same time, Reject really quashed it as soon as they could, got themselves that advantage, that value that they need. And this is what we expect from Reject. They cannot have another group stage like last time in the preseason. They have to come out all guns blazing, no mucking around, guaranteeing those early victories to maintain dominance as you would want from your premier team. Not to mention the partner team of Asia. They carry a lot more with them than most other teams in terms of the burden and responsibility they have as a premier team in Asia, in the region of the Pacific. And of course, as we know, they don't have a guaranteed slot when it comes down to when it comes down to mid-season finals. That's a tough thing right here. They not only have to make sure they're top 6 in Asia here, they also then have to make sure they are top 2 in the Pacific playoffs, but they will also not just be facing the behemoths that have been challenging them lately, Z10 and XOXO, they also have to take on Gen.G and Chiefs. But again, let's find out more. Let's have a chat with Piggy from Reject.
Hello,
How you doing, Piggy?
Hello.
How are you feeling after that match? It was a bit of a quick one.
I'm happy now.
A little bit of a fast one, right? Who was the carry? Who carried in today?
Did you see my Jeff? My Jeff carry.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, my Jeff carry.
That was the best Jeff I've ever seen. W Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys looked so strong. Which teammate? So Piggy carry, obviously it's the Piggy carry this time on Jeff. But which teammate do you think also was really strong too?
Maybe Rastro, Loki.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
He always copy Punisher and,
And,
carry.
Yep. Yep.
Crazy.
Whose idea was it to play Punisher and 4 strategists?
Rastro.
This guy knows how to meme. This guy knows. And the last one, right? A little serious. Do you feel ready to play against Gen.G? Because Gen.G are a good team. Do you think you guys are ready to play against Gen.G?
Yeah, I think
potential
Gen.G. I think Gen.G really good team, but we can win. In Scream, maybe. In Scream, we was lose to Gen.G a lot, but we can win match.
There it is. Piggy from Reject. Okay, we wish you good luck in your next games. Thank you.
Thank you.
Fighting.
Fighting.
Ding. Respect.